There's Simon and Nick. They're out on a normal training ride today. So why am I here? It's Saturday the 15th of February 2020 and the Northwest Passage cycle ride will be coming this way anytime, any moment now. Here's the two guys, they're just on a loop around this section here, trying to get some of the action, but there's nothing happening at the moment. I think we've got a few riders now coming through, but normally you'd expect to see a big peloton with about 50 to 100 riders in it. Group over here coming up with about 4 or 5 in. Yeah, I suspect that they're doing it.
I'm a cyclist and I live in the Pennines, and welcome to my channel. And today was the Northwest Passage, which is a 200km Audax ride organised by the West Pennines Cycling Club. And with Storm Dennis about to wreak havoc across the United Kingdom, I decided to stay local and ride the Crag Vale loop, which on a good day is a tough 20-mile loop, but with the weather conditions today this will be more than a challenge. So here we are, about 11 miles into the ride on the outskirts of Todmorden. As you can see, it's absolutely tipping it down. And here we are now, just approaching Todmorden centre itself, with the town hall looking very prominent there. And having negotiated around that roundabout quite safely, we made our way on towards Hebden Bridge. And here we are now, further on down the valley. And looking at the road here, it was still quite dirty from last weekend's Storm Ciara. But I had some good pace with the wind slightly behind me, and it made the riding quite comfortable. But if we just fast forward down the road a minute, we come to a section of road where there was some absolutely horrendous flooding last weekend. And if you check out some of the online footage, you'll find some amazing scenes along here, where there was a container floating down the road right where I am at the moment. And the whole of this area was consumed with water. I've never seen anything quite like it, and it looked absolutely terrifying to me. And just further on down the road here, this section is actually quite a low point as well and can flood significantly. The River Calder is just down below and we just cross it very shortly. But next we're in Hebden Bridge. This is a vibrant little town full of shops and cafes, but when that river on the left starts to flood, all of this area unfortunately suffers. Okay, we're 18 miles into the ride now and we're on the outskirts of Mytholmroyd, which at the moment has suffered along with Hebden Bridge, Todmorden, Sowerby Bridge and so many other places along this valley. It's hard to put it into words actually. So this is Mytholmroyd, where I now need to take a right onto the B6138, just going up there, and here we are now crossing the bridge over the River Calder. Now this takes us on to where the climb really begins, and as that sign says there, the Crag Vale. And this is England's longest continual climb. It climbs 968 feet over 5.5 miles. So basically it's a slog with a bit of a steep bit in the middle. The quickest time up here is 15 minutes and 49 seconds, and my best time ever was 18 minutes 39 a few years ago. But today it took me over an hour. And yes, the Tour de France did come up here, and on this climb it was a feeding zone, and they still went up here quicker than I can with a 50-mile-an-hour tailwind. Now that is remarkable. And passing the pub here, the Robin Hood, just makes you fancy a really nice pint of Timothy Taylor's Landlord next to the warm fire. But we had a climb to do. As you can see, the weather was wild, it was windy, I was very isolated. This can be a lonely place, but for some reason I feel at home up here. I guess when you say I'm a cyclist and I live in the Pennines, it must be in your blood. This is the Plateau section now, and it was extremely tough going in the wind here. It was almost a blockhead wind, which just makes it so difficult to pedal against. But we're 25 miles into the ride, and I'm about to meet the A58 and do the descent of Blackstone Edge, and I've been looking forward to doing this for the whole of this ascent. And as you can see at the end, I do have a little breather. I wasn't out of breath, I was just doing that for the cameras. And here we are now on the descent of Blackstone Edge, and this turned out to be really hard work. Just look at the sky, look how moody it is, and look where the cloud base is. This is the beginning of the storm. Now ahead is a left-hand bend. I know on a good day I can hit this at around 50 miles per hour. I've done it many times, and the moment I came around that left-hand bend, I looked at the speedometer, I was doing 12 miles per hour, pedalling almost flat out to go downhill. That goes to show how demanding these conditions were today. It was horrendous. I can almost feel myself coming to a halt looking at this now. But just skipping further down this descent, and I did find some pace, albeit around 25 to 30 miles per hour because of side gust and swirling air movements. I wouldn't take any more risk than that. There's a person on the road there, needs to get out of the way pretty quickly though. But once you get around this left-hander here, the wind hits you like a brick wall. It did this on a recent ride, and that's where local knowledge does come in handy. But on a day like this, let the bike just get you home safely. So that brings my ride to an end. It turned out to be a really tough ride, just under 30 miles with over 1,700 feet of climbing. Looking at the average speed of 10.6 miles per hour there, I'm not surprised because I kept stopping to do all the filming. And with a maximum speed of 37 miles per hour, I'm happy with that. Anyway, if you like these videos, let me know and I'll continue making more for you. And thank you for watching.